As the United States heads into the 2008 election, the ongoing war in Iraq continues to divide the public. Barack Obama is a senator from Illinois and is leading with a message of hope and change. John McCain, senator from Arizona and Vietnam War hero, takes the Republican mantle from the unpopular George W. Bush. As the economic crash turns into a deepening recession, many Americans are anxious for a departure from the status quo. Hello everybody, welcome back to the video, and today we're going to be playing through the new campaign trail 2008 edition. Almost said 19 something. Yeah, we're going a little more recent than Bush v. Gore. This time, one simple challenge: can I get a victory for John McCain? So we're going to go with John McCain. We're going to run as McCain, and if I can't get a victory that way, then we're going to go for trying to sink Obama. So John McCain III is a bona fide war hero and a senator from Arizona since 1986. Captured during his service in Vietnam, he endured years of torture at the hands of the NVA. Upon his release, he received a hero's welcome before entering the political arena as a Republican. He made a bid for the presidency in 2000, losing an acrimonious primary to George Bush. McCain is also known as the Maverick due to his frequent willingness to break with the party on many issues. This can be as much an asset as a liability. He is also known for his unorthodox positions on key social issues. To win, McCain can either emphasize his independent streak or cozy up to the party's conservative wing. There's also the matter of how closely he should associate himself with George W. Bush to consider. Bush is incredibly unpopular, but straying too far from the administration may hurt you at the base. Okay? Yeah, let's not go with Sarah Palin. Tom Ridge was Pennsylvania's governor, credited with many improvements in infrastructure and education. He will certainly improve your chances in that state, and his warm personality might appeal to voters after 8 years of Dick Cheney. Ridge is popular within the party as a fellow Vietnam veteran and with a tough on crime reputation as governor. He became the first head of the Department of Homeland Security, resigning shortly before the 2004 election. While Ridge is not a moderate per se, his support of abortion can make things very awkward with a socially conservative base, one silver lining being that his stance may help with Republican women and independence. He is also closely associated with President Bush, a factor that can help or harm your campaign. Joe Lieberman would be the ultimate wild card pick. A Democratic senator from Connecticut, he is not only an open liberal, but even ran against Bush in 2000 as Al Gore's running mate. Despite this, the two of you have become fast friends during your time in Congress. He is the most prominent Democrat to endorse your campaign. Lieberman is one of the Senate's most hawkish members, a position which lost him the 2006 primary and forced him to win re-election as an independent. By choosing him, you would be making a huge gamble. Lieberman is vocally for abortion rights, gay rights, and has a strong liberal voting record in the Senate. It would be a system shock for the rank and file and guarantee a hemorrhage in support from the conservative base, but he also presents the chance to reshape the political map to your benefit. Mitt Romney was one of your primary opponents this year and gave you a run for your money. He is the son of the famous George Romney and the former governor of Massachusetts. In addition to his history as CEO of Brain Capital, he was responsible for the success of the 2002 Salt Lake Winter Olympics. His style of conservatism is relatively moderate, having built a successful near-universal healthcare system in Massachusetts, but he has moved more to the right in recent years. There is no strong opposition to Romney from any corner of the GOP, but some party stalwarts are skeptical of his liberal history on abortion and social issues. Despite his apparent shift in views, he would also be the first Mormon vice president. Tim Pawlenty is the governor of Minnesota, where he won plaudits from Republicans for resolving that state's budget deficit without raising taxes, unless you count cigarettes. He gained the attention of the media last year after a deadly bridge collapse in Minneapolis. While his initial response was widely praised, the political battle which ensued has frustrated his agenda. He is sure to appeal to voters in the upper Midwest as an able administrator with a young, friendly face that may just put Minnesota in play. Despite his strong conservative credentials, he is seen by many as a moderate, owing to his image and low profile among voters. He's also come under scrutiny for campaign finance violations. Okay, so we're either going to go for Lieberman or Romney. Romney seems like the safest bet. It's early July, and given a bit of downtime, your advisors encourage you to go on a brief tour across the ocean to build up relationships with America's allies. Obama is planning a trip to meet with European leaders, threatening to undercut your argument that he is unprepared on foreign policy issues. Where do you plan to go? Let's see. Let's see what the polls are showing. Okay, so it looks like we're winning more states, but Obama has the lead. But it's a close game, so let's visit the troops. This would be great. Okay. You've selected your primary opponent, Mitt Romney, to stand with you as a running mate. How you frame this pick to the public? He is a stand-up man guided by his faith. He has been unwavering in his dedication to conservative principles. We hope his devotion to God and family values will serve as a guiding light in this campaign. Let's see. Let's go with that one. You seem to be covering for Romney's moderate past and an appeal to evangelical voters. It could work, but the burden is on him to keep consistent. Okay. What themes do you want to hit on during your convention speech this year? Let's see. So we don't want to build on change because that's what Obama's going with. And if we're talking about change along with Obama, to that extent, then, I mean, we might not do anything. Let's see. Let's not talk about the Bush administration. Okay. Your advisors recommend you to play up the experience angle, which stands in contrast to Obama's message of change. Voters like hopey, changey rhetoric, but in time may turn to you to steady the ship. May 2008, President Bush invited you to the White House to accept his endorsement of your campaign. What do you say? I'd rather not make a big deal of the endorsement. I'd be happy to let him endorse me, but tying my name to Bush so vocally might hurt our chances in the long run. You skip the White House event and make little of the Bush administration publicly, which may cost you a chance to boost conservative support, but this might be the safer option overall. Okay. Let's go to Florida. Barack Obama has amassed a great deal of momentum recently, launching his status from politician to near celebrity. What kind of image do you want to paint of him for your advertisements? We need to go hard if we want to change people's minds about Obama. Talk about his plan to raise taxes, his utter inexperience, his vague platitudes, and his promise of radical, untested change. Does Barack Obama love America as much as he loves himself? He's the biggest celebrity in the world, but is he ready to lead with gas prices soaring? Barack Obama says no to offshore drilling and says he'll raise taxes on electricity, higher taxes, more foreign oil. That's the real Obama. You're really going for the Atwater approach here. The ads stick with conservative voters, but you're accused of dragging the campaign into the mud and turning off moderates. It's not good, and we're not doing great either. The internet is increasingly being used as a medium for political activism in the world of 2008. Studies show 35% of Americans rely on online videos for election news. How many resources do you intend to pour into online research? Let's hit that. This is probably the smarter course of action. You maintain a website, of course, but the uptick in donations from your TV ads is noticeable. You also had a good showing on Saturday. Was he on Saturday Night Live, or is that just something they made up for this? I don't know, but we're not making much progress. President Bush's troop surge in 2007 has been successful in reducing violence and restoring the Iraq War's popularity. You said you'd be fine with American soldiers remaining in Iraq for 100 years. Would you like to clarify this comment? Only if that's what it takes to defeat the terrorists. My number one priority is creating the conditions to get American soldiers home. These conditions are safety at home and safety abroad. Okay. let's see. There's really nothing that says increase. So, let's go with that. People notice your quiet urgency in wanting to bring the troops home, but you're also holding off on a firm commitment to nation building, a subtle way to distance yourself from Bush's handling of the war. The subprime mortgage crisis has engulfed the world economy after a sudden crash in the housing market. This week, Lehman Brothers filed for the largest bankruptcy in history. How do you propose to turn the situation around? Congress quickly needs to pass the stimulus plan. This crisis is a product of a broken Washington culture, one Senator Obama and his misguided plans to raise your taxes are a part of. I do not support massive expenditures and saddling Americans with trillions of dollars in debt. All right. Okay. It's hard to cast yourself as the outsider, and Obama pounces on you for seemingly ignoring the crisis. After 8 years of Bush, the idea of more tax cuts has grown stale. Okay. The Federal Reserve completed an $85 million takeover of AIG this week, following their seizing control of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Do you agree with the Fed's aggressive strategy to combat the economic crisis? No, let's not talk about that. There we go. Very interesting response. This won't be good for the party base, but by putting the onus on Bush, you give Obama little to work with in terms of attacks. Wednesday saw a massive bank run taking $144 billion out of money market funds. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke says the credit markets are close to total collapse. The first presidential debate is scheduled soon. Some staffers think you're needed in Washington to work on a bailout deal. Well, you do. It's time to set politics aside. I'm suspending my campaign for the time being and going to Washington to help negotiate a bailout. I invite Senator Obama to do the same so we can focus on making a deal for the American people. Let's do that. Let's show bipartisan support. You tilt hard on the bill, which ends up passing on the first vote, but the credit you'll receive is unlikely to outweigh voters' angers at your ducking the debate. Obama. Okay, that's not good. I thought that was going to be a good thing. There have been unfounded rumors circulating in conservative circles, as well as some Hillary Clinton supporters, that Obama was actually born in Kenya, and even more, that he's secretly a Muslim who refuses to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you bring this up at all? Okay. Let's go with absolutely not. Stick to the high road. There's nothing at all to gain by getting bogged down. Okay. There's an unspoken but considerable prejudice against Mormonism in many red states. Ahead of the interview with CBS's Katie Couric in the vice presidential debate, how should Mitt Romney address the topic when it comes up? I'd rather leave it to Mitt to choose how to address this. I think he has it in him to answer any questions about his faith. Okay. Good choice. Romney's eloquent explanation of his faith seems to have struck a chord with voters, leading to a stellar victory over Joe Biden in the Veep debate. Yes, that didn't help us out too much, but oh well. Is it just going to remain like this? Obama's connection to Bill Ayers, a former leader of the militant leftist group The Weather Underground, was attacked by Hillary Clinton during the primaries. The Weathermen were responsible for several bombings and murders in the 1970s. To what extent will you bring up their association? I don't think this bears any mention. Hillary already tried this attack and it didn't work for her. Let's talk about the economy and keep the conversation on that. Let's not do that. Obama is too dangerous for America. I want that to be the message we're putting out on the internet, on television, everywhere. I want a massive robocall campaign to hammer the point home. I think we should highlight this in speeches, but nothing too overboard. We need to maintain a level of dignity about the campaign so voters don't think we're too negative. I think pointing to their past friendship is enough. This is Obama. This is a liability. But you want to be judicious in your attacks because they were never really that close. Hopefully this hits the spot. That's not really helping us out. Over 100 million people say that they have been left without insurance at some point since 2007. Most Americans agreed the country's healthcare system is in need of major reform. What is your plan to make healthcare more affordable? Obamacare would be a disaster. I think the time has come. No. We need to rethink the role of government in healthcare. Policies should encourage the private sector to bring down costs, with the states allowed to develop their own approaches. I would plan to revolutionize healthcare, but by deregulating individual insurance markets so people can get covered across state lines. We can provide a tax credit of up to $5,000 to offset the cost of insurance. Let's go with that. This is a good conservative answer that will motivate your base. Obama calls your plan the largest middle class tax hike in history, but that's just noise. That didn't really help us out too much. Okay, Obama recently launched a massive ad buy surrounding the Keating 5 scandal, which you and other senators were investigated for. You were eventually cleared of any wrongdoing, though reprimanded. How will you respond? There we go. We need to turn the tables. Taking control of the conversation and changing the topics is probably your best bet here. Voters respond to your attacks about Obama's record and forget about Keating within a week. At a recent event in Minnesota, one of your supporters told you she didn't trust Obama because he's an Arab. How do you respond? I don't want to speculate on any matter like that. I'd rather focus on the issues of this campaign. No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, a citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues. That's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Let's go with that. He took the high road. Many people agree this is a bright spot in a contentious campaign. We're still not doing good. We need... Barack Obama pledged today that if elected president, he would close the detention center at Guantanamo Bay. You've spoken out against the center in the past. Will you make the same commitment today? Let's see. It's a tough call, but keeping the center open. Do support it. I do support closing the center, and I certainly oppose the torture against detainees. All that we have accomplished through maintaining these policies is providing more recruits to Al-Qaeda. It's consistent with your previous position. It will call some attention to Romney's previous comments on the matter, though. President Reagan famously dispatched questions about his age with a momentum-stopping roast of Walter Mondale. How much do you want to speak about Obama's youth or perceived lack of experience in the final stretch of this campaign? This is a change election, and people are going to cast their vote for the candidate of change instead of swimming against the tide. We should be casting myself as the real change candidate by emphasizing my moderate positions in Maverick history. Senator Obama keeps drawing comparisons to John F. Kennedy, but equally lacks his grace, competence, and intellect. Oh, no, we're not going to pick that one. That's very disrespectful. His age isn't an issue, but his experience is. We have lifetime political and military experience to capitalize on here. Obama lacks any of that and is dangerously unqualified to handle the problems we face. Let's do that. It's a nice thought, but you're the incumbent party candidate and ideologically near identical to Bush. It will take some real breaks from party orthodoxy to make this work. Okay. As Senator, you've been noted for an unusually strong stance on climate change and have authorized several pieces of climate-related legislation in the past. How much do you want to make global warming a campaign issue in 2008? Let's... Yeah, let's give that. You have a chance to whisk away environment-focused voters from Obama if you can make climate change a bigger issue in Americans' minds than it has been thus far. Just be careful about alienating businesses. You've historically had a more liberal stance than your GOP colleagues on gay rights. Let's see. People don't know what to make of this stance. Conservatives are mad, and polling shows moderates see as indecisive and unwilling to take a side. It probably won't hurt too much, but it won't help. Okay, that put us back up, but yeah. Historically been a moderate on the issue of abortion. You said in 1999 you would not overturn Roe v. Wade. Has your position changed? I would rather not address this issue. It can't really help us to talk about abortion, and people want to hear about the economy. People want to know where you stand on important issues. Okay. A record-breaking 77% of voters have listed energy policy as a very important vote in a new Pew Research poll. What steps would you take to formulate a national energy strategy? We need to do whatever it takes to move. Okay. Subsidies in the long term. We need to institute more protectionist trade policies. We need to increase our... There we go. It's a good strategy that appeals to conservative and moderate voters alike. Cole County likes your spending commitment, and free marketers appreciate your opposition to new taxes. We're going to have to sink Obama, aren't we? Yeah, we are. You've been slipping in the polls recently. Your advisors have recommended a last-minute ad by attacking Obama's connections to Rev. Jeremiah Wright, who has made many incendiary anti-American comments. You have so far ruled out anything to do with Wright, whom Obama has distanced himself from. I think it's time to bring out the artillery here. Obama accuses you of being disingenuous, but it's never a good look to be shown on national television with an anti-Semitic hate preacher. You've truly dragged the campaign into the gutter now. Your final week of the campaign was marked by a very well-received appearance on Saturday Night Live and no October surprise to shake up the race. What message would you like to hammer home as a record number of voters prepare to cast their ballots? See, I am the pro-life, pro-family, pro-gun maverick candidate who will protect your freedom. The many crises facing our nation. Let's attack Obama. You close out the campaign by making a strong pitch to conservatives. The base is fired up, but will it be enough? Doesn't look like it. Final day of the campaign is taking a long time to get here, and I'm sure you're positively exhausted on the day before Election Day. Where do you want to concentrate your campaign resources? What are we at? Okay. Let's see. That could be enough. Indiana and Ohio. You get a lot of good vibes during your final tour, and your final rally draws a decent crowd in deep red Allen County. Good luck tomorrow. We're going to skip ahead. Country last. You came to the table with great determination and indomitable spirit, and you leave the arena with your pride intact. This was the result everyone expected, but that doesn't mean you should lose hope after coming this far. Obama will go on to make history as America's first African-American president, governing with a Democratic supermajority in both chambers. The ball's in his court now. You're likely too old to run for president again, but you still have your seat in the Senate, and Arizona loves you. In the days ahead, you will have to work with President Obama to see the country through many crises, from Iraq to the economy. Let's hope the bipartisan spirit you fostered during the campaign will transfer to the next session of Congress. Okay, so... Okay. Here we go again. This time, we're going to sink Obama. So we're not going to go with Biden as a running mate. We'll start with that. Tim Kaine is the popular governor of Virginia, known for his past as a Catholic missionary and the mayor of Richmond. He's seen as an adept micromanager and a policy wonk of sorts. Would add an experienced, uncontroversial voice to the ticket. Okay. Longtime senator from Connecticut, currently serving as chair of the Banking Committee. He boasts solid credentials on the economy and is an experienced legislator and campaigner. His past could be a drawback to voters who see him as a big-time insider and suspicious of his ties to the banking sector. Okay. Kathleen Syllabus is a recently re-elected governor of Kansas. Okay. Evan Baugh is a junior senator. Okay. Let's go with Chris Dodd. Over the course of the primary campaign, you were attacked for your prior association with Reverend Jeremiah White. Right. Go. It's good to stand up for yourself when attacked, but most Americans react furiously. Okay. Oh, that. We're still in the lead? Shoot. Okay. What do you have to say about the selection of Chris Dodd as your running mate? You certainly have an angle by appealing to his long experience, but liberals are skeptical of his ties to the banking sector. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Your speech echoes the bold liberal outlooks of visionaries like McGovern, Humphrey, and Jesse Jackson. The internet is increasingly... Okay. TV ads. We need to do something. Okay. Let's see. All right. It's a week after the convention and given a bit of downtime. Go. We're still in the lead. Okay. President Bush's troop surge, a move you opposed. Go. Some Jewish voters are skeptical of your support for Israel, given your apparent willingness to talk to Iranian leaders. Similarly, Palestinians were outraged by your speech in which you described Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. How will you clarify your stance on Israel and Palestine? I meant what I said. There we go. Seriously, subprime mortgage pricing, welfare, see, oversight of Wall Street. Okay. In advance of the upcoming presidential debate, John McCain has suspended his campaign to return to D.C. and work on a legislative response to the financial crisis. He has called for a postponement of the debate. How do you plan to respond? We'll agree. Voters are a little upset that the debate was delayed. Okay. Oh, there we go. That helped us. That helped us thank Obama a little bit. Over 100 million people say they've been left without insurance. Let's be vague. The McCain campaign has stepped up his attacks. Okay. There we go. We've just got to keep going. Sarah Palin, whose selection as McCain's VP nominee electrified the campaign and won support from women voters, has been flagging in the polls as of late. She recently gave a series of interviews which she suggested Alaska's proximity to Russia gave her foreign policy experience, along with a rambling answer on the bailout. Okay. Clever idea, but Clinton isn't game. Your campaign decides to stick it out and make a comment. No harm, no foul. Okay. What is your position on abortion? There we go. Oh. Yes. What were you thinking with this stance? You've gone further than even John McCain, and you sound like a preacher more than a politician. Oh, look at that. John McCain was part of the Keating Five. Okay, so this is going to ask us about that. The rest of them were Democrats. What was your stance on the use of the death penalty? There we go. Okay, since his election as Russia's president, Putin has rolled back freedoms and engaged in a short, victorious war of conquest with Georgia. What stance do you take on Russia? Don't give them much attention. Okay. Go. Right. We're trying to make him seem very weird. Okay. See. So in October, and your campaign is in the home stretch. Okay. Trying to make him seem like a big flip-flopper. Okay. Go. Remember when Walter Mondale promised to raise taxes on the middle class? What happened to him next? John McCain is currently 72 years old. If elected, he will become the oldest president in American history, and some concerns have raised about his health and fitness. We don't plan on bringing this up. During the campaign. Trying to push him far to the left and flip-flopping on some issues is my strategy. Climate change. Let's not talk about it. There isn't any credible evidence. Go for the election. Go. Okay. Here we are. It's been a long campaign. Now we stand on the precipice. Now you stand on the precipice of making history as America's first black president. Where will you concentrate your efforts on the eve of the election? Here we go. You know what? Yeah. Okay. I guess we couldn't. This loss is a painful one to take. After all the hope you generated with your astonishing primary win, to come up short represents a major failing on your part. President Bush's numbers are in the tank, and the economy is in a rut, and the crowds at your rallies were bigger than ever seen before. And now the world wakes up to the reality of President John McCain. The second guessing will be fast and furious. Hillary Clinton is livid with you, having stolen her nomination in a perfectly winnable election year. She will probably be the nominee in 2012, if not another rising star like you were once considered. President McCain has a lot of work to do, and his agenda's success will depend on his relationship with an all-Democratic Congress, in which you still hold your Senate seat. Will you make enough waves to run again in 4 years? And there's the map. And so yes, I was able to sink Obama. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.